Phone line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Luke Johnson joins us right now. He's co-host of the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. That's on SuperTalk Laurel, SuperTalk Hattiesburg, and, of course, streaming online at supertalk.fm. Luke, how much fun are you guys having right now? 32-8, best 40-game start in school history. 14 straight wins, 11 straight road wins. Scott Berry on the verge of, tying Hill Denson for the most wins in school history. There's a whole lot of goods surrounding Golden Eagles baseball right now.
Some people are having fun with it. I sure am. I'm enjoying the ride. But my dad and I were sitting at the game Saturday by each other. And whenever a game gets tight, my dad's been a Golden Eagle fan for, 60-plus years. He just can't eat sometimes because it's just like, what is about to happen, and so it's just kind of as the personal side of it is I've just been enjoying the ride. Covering side of it, you just wonder, how long can it continue? I mean, they're just, in Scott Berry's words, staying in their lane, and some of the leadership on this team trying not to get focused, on the peripheral things, that come along and the notoriety that comes along, just trying to take it, one game at a time, literally. And I think that's what's been maybe different from this team than some maybe in the past. They may have got their eye off some of the things in the side, but I mean, 14 games in a row. You look at, they've won, 21 out of the last 22. This team at one point was 13-7, Richard. It's hard to believe now you're 32-8.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And the cool thing is everything that is good is still in front of them. And it's all still in play. Hosting, being a top 8 seed potentially, winning a conference tournament, putting yourself in a great position to, obviously the higher seeded you are, theoretically, the easier it is for you to advance to Omaha based on the teams that get placed with you and who you get matched up with in a super regional. But at the same time, you can't really get wrapped up in that if you want to keep rolling along.
Yeah, you can't live off hypotheticals. I think, if we're talking that Southern Miss is going to host, you're going to get an SEC team or possibly an ACC team as a 2. I think some projections have Florida State as a 2 or Virginia Tech as a 2. I think Baseball America had it was at Alabama maybe as a 3. One had Florida State and Alabama as the 2-3. So you can't really get caught up in that. But that some of these teams that typically host aren't hosting this year, so they're going to be in your regional. One of the things that we've been talking about is the difference in this team is that you legitimately have 4 or 5 guys, maybe even 6 that would start for you in a yearly basis. I think right now Tanner Hall is probably in the driver's seat for the Ferris Award. Just what he's doing is it's maybe on the same level in some ways of what Nick Sandlin did. But, most of the time when he's going out, he's averaging, 9 or 10 strikeouts a game. And then, Waldrop's throwing, I don't know if Scott told you or not, that gun may be just a tad hot, but Waldrop probably hit 100 on Sunday. And that's your Sunday guy. And both of those guys are top 30 in the country in ERA, and they bookend your rotation with Hunter Riggins in the middle.
So let's just look at Tanner Hall's numbers for a second. I think I've got these right here. 7-0, 11 appearances with 9 starts with an ERA below 2. So he's at 1.94. In 65 innings, he's given up 49 hits. He's just walked 7, so his whip is below 1. He's got 90 strikeouts. Has only allowed 2 home runs. The batting average against 203, these numbers are, video game-like when you look at them.
Waldrop, he's walked 20, but he struck out 77 and 51. People only batting 177 against him, and that's your Sunday guy. So the deal with Tanner is this changeup that he throws. Scott Berry said he's really never seen anything like it. And the Christian Ostrander, theory of pitching is pound the zone, play good defense behind them. But both of those guys have such swing and miss stuff. They'll get guys looking, but, a lot of those strikeouts are swing and miss. So when you look at, just between those two guys, you're in the neighborhood of 150 and 160 strikeouts. It's just been incredible. This was the guy that was your Tanner Hall was your number 4 starter when the season began.
If you could draw up the perfect field for a Hattiesburg regional in terms of interest, obviously you want the worst 2 seed, the worst 3 seed, the worst 4 seed, so you can win and you can advance to a super regional, and you want the worst team alive still to be your team in the way of getting to Omaha. I understand that. But in terms of an interest, excitement, what would Southern Miss fans, if they could draw it up, what other 3 teams would they have in Hattiesburg?
The homers want it as easy as you can. You're not going to get that. I mean, even as a national seed, if you're to win out, I don't see Southern Miss really getting higher than maybe a 5, even if they were to do that. So you're looking maybe in the 7 or 8 category. I mean, LSU is going to be somebody's 2. Vanderbilt's going to be somebody's 2. Auburn, you look at, there's a possibility there. I think Southern Miss fans know they're going to get an SEC team. I don't think they won't, if Mississippi State were to get in as a 3. And I don't say that to say, they've already beaten Mississippi State and they don't want a repeat of 2017. I think Southern Miss fans, like their team playing possible teams in the postseason that they haven't played before. And so I said that with LSU, but LSU, they don't get to play them very often. So I think that would be really good. You just want, stands packed. There's been some SWAC teams that have come in there before. I think one model had Alabama State. One projection, Wofford has got to go somewhere. They're 30-10 at 25. So I remember when Southern Miss hosted, they played the who was it? It was the team out of UIC, I think, and they were like a stud 4 team. And that's what you want. You want quality baseball. So maybe a little softer 2, but a strong 3. And so that second round matchup would be somebody that you maybe could beat, but it would be an exciting weekend. So if you're going to get an SEC team within bus distance, Vandy and Auburn or LSU, I think would be an electric atmosphere.
Yeah. Why does Southern Miss and LSU not play annually in baseball?
They just never have. Back in the day, they used to play down at the old Zephyr Field, where the Baby Cakes play now. Who was the guy? Wally played for LSU.
Oh, Wally Pontiff. It was the Wally Pontiff Classic game.
It was Wally Pontiff, and they played that several years. You would think because of the notoriety of where Barry's taken Southern Miss these last 10 years, they would play it more often. So they picked up the New Orleans crowd with obviously the Tulane series.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just feel like there's so many non-conference games. That's one that would make a lot of sense for both sides because proximity, it's not too bad of a drive for either side in a quality baseball game. So who knows going forward. What's the buzz right now? Southeastern Louisiana tonight, got to go to Hammond. That's not a gimme. And then got to go to Birmingham this weekend. Now, I say not a gimme. Close game, 2 weeks ago? And good thing there wasn't replay in that game. Finished in the rain. Whatever. Great call. And, you catch some breaks along the way. So not a slam dunk tonight, but a team that Southern Miss is better than. And then you got to go to UAB this weekend.
So, Conference USA right now has 7 teams in the top 100 in RPI. UAB is one of those. I'll just tell you what's going on today. There's an injury with Southern Miss. That's been kind of the buzz today. Reese Ewing is going to be out, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe until conference tournament time. He's your 3-hole hitter. Slade Wilkes is out with an oblique injury. So between those guys, that's 60 runs and, 14 home runs and about 55 RBIs. Ewing's got some type of small fracture on his hand. So they got to reshuffle the outfield. May move Montenegro to left to put Brady Faust in center. You may see Matt Cederberg. Charlie Fisher, who lost his DH spot, even though he was preseason. Last year, he was first-team designated hitter All-CUSA, and this year he's preseason All-CUSA. He'll continue to be the DH. But, Ewing's, that's going to hurt. Pato dinged up his finger a little bit, but he should be fine for tonight. But anyway, you look down, you need to win this one tonight. But then the rest of the way, everybody outside of UAB is like top 60 RPI in conference. Old Dominion's at 62, UTSA is 58, Middle Tennessee's 51. So you don't have to be perfect down the stretch. You can, continue to win series. But the games that will kill you to lose, they've got them out of the way the last 3 weekends.
Slade Wilkes, second on the team in hitting with a .319 average. Reese Ewing hitting .304. That's third on the team. Combined 14 home runs. Combined 53 runs batted in between those two guys. So, yeah, that's tough.